Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server where we post multiple updates a day. And before I start with the technical analysis, I actually want to read some comments that I have received recently because I believe these comments are very funny. So let me start with the first one. Let me put it on the screen. The first comment is this one right here. It was written 15 hours ago and it says didn't bounce, and this comment is referring to Cardano obviously. So I did tell you that there is a chance that Cardano will bounce off the trend line, and at first it did not bounce. As you can see right here, for example, yes, it went up but then it got rejected and we actually got another touch of the trend line before we continued. And people are so impatient that they could not wait for a couple of more hours before actually commenting. And this guy is one example. I mean, of course, it did not bounce all of a sudden, but as you can see, it still bounced after that. And yeah, right now we have a 1-2 setup on the chart. We'll see if we get a 4 and a 5. And also, if we go up right now and we do something like this, that will turn into a reverse head and shoulders pattern, and that will be very bullish. So yeah, not much to say about this comment other than the fact that you need to be patient. You cannot really expect something to bounce in 5 seconds. You need to wait a couple of hours. So yeah, we bounced off the trend line and we'll see if we get to the 200% extension right here or not. The next comment is this right here. So you look at the fear and greed index and it clearly is in the greed zone, but you go on to say that people are fearful. People are not fearful right now. I don't know where you are getting that from. Well, what do you know? Right now, the fear and greed index is at 50. It keeps going down. And why is that? Because people are getting fearful. And how do I know that? Well, I just know it, and you have to believe me. So far, I've been right. I did tell you that people are fearful, and what do you know? The fear and greed index dropped like 20 points overnight. So yeah, you just have to believe me. Also, we did the exact same thing in the previous cycle, exactly 4 years ago. As you can see, the fear and greed index also dropped in January, and it dropped quite a lot. And this is because Bitcoin was going down during this time. But keep in mind, Bitcoin right now is at $95,000 and the fear and greed index is at 50, which is ridiculous. I mean, 2 months ago, the fear and greed index was at 90 and Bitcoin was at almost 100k. Right now, we're like $5,000 away from 100k and people are starting to get fearful. Like, I don't really get this. There's a lot of FUD in the market and it makes absolutely no sense to be fearful right now. But like I said, it did happen in the previous cycle exactly 4 years ago, so there is a chance that we bounce right now. Well, not right now, maybe in a couple of days or so. I mean, the pump could start right now, but as you can see here, for example, after we had this drop on the fear and greed index, it actually took some time to bounce after that. And as you can see, February was actually a very good month for Bitcoin, so I'm expecting something like this to happen again very soon. Now let me go on to read the third comment. So the third comment says, would be good at $5 to $6 in Q1 to sell this shitcoin. Bought by mistake in the 2021 bull run by faith of the new era, and I have held this for 4 years. By the way, 2021 was my first time in crypto, made mistakes as new. So this person is expecting Cardano to be at $5 to $6 in Q1 of this year. And as you know, this makes absolutely no sense because I'm expecting Cardano to top somewhere between Q3 and Q4 of this year, not Q1. Topping in Q1 would not make any sense at all. So yeah, that's the first thing that I want to point out. And also, this guy bought in the 2021 bull run. He probably bought near the top when Cardano was actually doing, well, actually, let me show you this move that it was doing. So Cardano was pretty much up here. It was at about $2 to $3. This guy bought the top and now he's complaining about the fact that Cardano is down. I cannot really understand this. So you buy the top and then you complain that Cardano is not at all-time highs, even though it doesn't even make sense for it to be at all-time highs right now. I mean, exactly 4 years ago, for example, Cardano was not at all-time highs. 4 years ago, Cardano was at about 40 cents. Right now, it's at about $1. So yeah, I don't know why you are expecting Cardano to be at all-time highs right now. It does not make sense to be at all-time highs right now. So yeah, I don't know why you would say that. Anyways, the next comment is this right here. Cardano must by far be the most frustrating crypto to hold. Others have already reached previous all-time highs, and this piece of nothing is still 70% down from the all-time highs. Mark my words, ADA will most likely not reach $3 in this cycle. Well, first of all, let's talk about this right here. Others have already reached previous all-time highs, and this piece of nothing is still 70% down. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at some other altcoins. Chainlink is still not at all-time highs. VeChain is still not at all-time highs. ICP is still not at all-time highs. Solana is at all-time highs, but you have to keep in mind, it will most likely not go up as much as the other altcoins because it already went up quite a lot. And let's look at XRP. XRP is also not at all-time highs right now. It's near all-time highs, but it's not at all-time highs. Uniswap is not at all-time highs. Shiba Inu is not at all-time highs. Matic is not at all-time highs. Near Protocol is not at all-time highs. Polkadot is not at all-time highs. Dogecoin is not at all-time highs. AVAX is not at all-time highs. HBAR is not at all-time highs. It's close to being at all-time highs, but it's not at all-time highs. Algo is not at all-time highs. Ando is at all-time highs, but this is a new coin. Let's move on to Render. Render is at all-time highs, so this looks like the Solana chart, yes. And of course, there are some altcoins that are already at all-time highs. Now, why is that? Well, that is because some altcoins just go up earlier than other altcoins. I'm not expecting Render to go up another 50x from where it's at right now. Of course not. So if it already went up during the bear market, I mean, of course it's going to go up during the bull market as well, but it's probably going to start getting outperformed by coins like Cardano, Chainlink, and VeChain in the bull market because this coin is already up a lot, so of course it cannot really go up forever. Now let's move on to Jasmy. Jasmy is also not at all-time highs, so yeah, I don't understand where that comment is coming from. Not many altcoins are at all-time highs, only a couple of them are at all-time highs right now, so yeah, that comment makes absolutely no sense. And we have another comment, this is the last comment for today. Bro, you've got too much of a bullish bias in the short term. You keep operating from the assumption that this is the bottom and this is where it will bounce. Please make a video of Fibonacci levels from the beginning of this wave up and let's objectively analyze the levels that this pullback can come down to. Well, first of all, I already have that on the chart. This is the support zone, so if you are interested how low the Cardano wave to the downside, the second wave to the downside can go, I mean, this is the support zone for it, but I did tell you multiple times that the second wave move down will most likely not get to 60 cents because I'm not expecting this to be a much bigger ABC structure, and why is that? Because I'm expecting Cardano to still go up a lot in January, at least based on what I did in the previous cycle, and so far we have been copying exactly what we did in the previous cycle. We went up in November, we went sideways in December, and now we are going up in January, just like we did here. We went up in November, we went sideways in December, and then we went up in January. And what do you know? Bitcoin dominance is currently at all-time highs, well, near all-time high, I mean cycle highs, I'm sorry, and I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to start dropping. And what do you know? When Bitcoin dominance drops, that's when the altcoin market goes up. I mean, for example, here, when Bitcoin dominance dropped 6%, this is where Cardano went up almost 300% in a matter of a month. So yeah, imagine what happens when Bitcoin dominance gets to like 40% and drops like 18% in a matter of a couple of weeks or maybe months. It's gonna be insane. I mean, if this move right here that looks like absolutely nothing made Cardano go up like 300%, imagine what something like this will do. It's gonna be insane and it's gonna happen extremely soon. I will not be shocked if that move started in a couple of days because it has been exactly 48 days since we had a cross on the bull market support band, so I think it's only a matter of time until we start going down. Now, of course, there is a chance that we just continue going sideways until January 20th. I've already mentioned this multiple times, and why do I think that? Well, I think that it's a possibility because that's when the next president will be put into the office, so maybe the market will remain uncertain until then, and then we go down. So, yeah. It's still looking good. I don't really understand these comments. Now let's continue with the comment. Medium to long term, yes, we are bullish, but this short term leg has a lower low coming. We are going sub 76 cents again for sure. Please tell us where to though. Thanks. Well, first of all, I've already talked about this. I mean, yes, getting another low is a possibility. Maybe Cardano wants to test the 0.382 extension right here, but like I said, this 1-2 setup that we had on the chart respected support levels. The second wave moved down, got to the golden ratio of the first wave, which is the 0.618 extension, and then we bounced, and right now I'm expecting a third wave. So if the 1-2 setup did not get invalidated, of course I'm expecting Cardano to go up and not go down. I mean, that's how it works. So yeah, if we somehow invalidate this 1-2 setup, that will put us most likely at about 72.7 cents. However, we did not invalidate the 1-2 setup, and as you can see, we are currently in an uptrend right now, which means that Cardano more likely will continue going up. Now, of course, that's just an assumption, and I cannot confirm that it will play out, but so far it has played out exactly like I told you it will. So, I'm not gonna take credit for that because, well, actually I'm gonna take credit for that. Cardano has done exactly what I said it would do, and yeah, we'll see if it keeps doing that. I mean, so far, like I said, Cardano has gone up from 30 cents all the way up to like $1.30 in a matter of a month, and people are complaining that we are getting a 40-cent drop. Like, is that even something to complain about? Of course, if you bought the top right here instead of buying when Cardano was down here, of course you are probably pissed right now. However, if you bought down here, then you most likely don't care about this correction, and this looks like absolutely nothing. You are still up like 3x, so who cares? Now, you probably bought the all-time highs like that comment earlier in the previous cycle, and if you did, I mean, you are already down probably like 70%, but keep in mind, exactly 4 years ago, in 2021, Cardano was down about, let's actually see how much, I'm gonna tell you exactly how much. Cardano was down about 76% from the all-time high right here. Right now, Cardano is down about 69% from the previous all-time high, so things are looking even better than they did in the previous cycle, and yet people are still complaining. I don't understand this, and that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our Discord server where you get to see all of the updates that we post. And yeah, like, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.